Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property.
Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there in age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back.
You know, one thing that I absolutely love about being in the position that I'm in is that I can absolutely help people, especially when it comes to the housing market, navigating it and understanding real estate. Now, there's a lot of people my age who do not own homes or real estate at this time. And I mean, genuinely, when you're under 35 years old, it is very common. And so I completely understand that this is a goal for most people, and achieving this is the American dream, right? Now, a lot of the people that I associate with are working and building towards, you know, home ownership or just simply getting out of debt. And so, you know, owning a home is not necessarily in the cards or on the table at this point in time, especially when managing money is still so difficult for many people. Now, in my own personal life, you know, I had to manage several different accounts, several different mortgages. And so that also can lead to some stress if you're not familiar with the process and you're not experienced in handling these certain type of situations. Now, some good news that I do want to address is that, you know, for the people who I've been talking to right here on the channel, and I've been telling you that money creates opportunities, well, now we're getting towards the point where opportunities will be created because interest rates are expected to come down in September and possibly December as well. So with that being said, we already know that the price of houses and real estate in this market are not going to go down significantly. However, I have been seeing a lot of reductions in my state, in the housing price in my state. But overall, globally in the U.S., housing prices are actually up 4% for the quarter, which is another insane thing to have happened with over 7% interest rates, is that housing prices have still gone up 4% this quarter. So although I'm seeing $10,000, $5,000, and $25,000 reductions in housing prices leading into lower interest rates coming this September, it is still shocking to see that we have 4% rises in housing prices globally. So with that being said, what people like that I've stated is that I do believe that the cost of homeownership is going to go down towards the end of 2024. So right now, here in August, it may be $5,000 to own a home, but by December, it should be about $4,600 to own a home, right? So when we're looking at it from that perspective, even though the price of the house may have went up a little bit, the cost monthly of the home has gone down. And the reason for that is because the interest rate is going to affect the full purchase price of the home minus the deposit, or I should say down payment and closing costs that you've put onto the home. So for example, if you buy a house for $800,000 and you put $60,000 down, you're going to have to finance $740,000. And with an interest rate of 6.5% instead of 7%, you're going to be saving money versus had you bought a house at $690,000 and then put your $60,000 down, and now you only finance $630 instead, right? So it was better for you to finance the higher mortgage with the lower interest rate because the monthly payment is going to be just that more cheaper for you in terms of, you know, that monthly cost to you. And so I do believe that, again, the thing that we've been hearing is that housing prices and costs is the highest recorded in the history of America. Interest rates are not the highest that it's ever been, But because of the housing prices, this is the most expensive market that I've surely ever been a part of in my almost 3 decades of life. And so knowing that this is the most expensive market that I've ever been a part of, and that the majority of people cannot afford a home, we know that the only way for this to change is for the price of real estate to come down, or the cost, most importantly, of real estate to come down, which is going to happen. You know why? Because real estate is not just for the wealthy. Real estate is specifically for everyone who is responsible, and is not only the wealthy that is responsible. And so even if you're irresponsible, I'm telling you, the banks will want to give you a house. I promise you they do. And so when you are looking at the landscape and you know that 80% of Americans cannot afford a home, something has to change to where 60% can afford a home, which means the monthly cost will go down in order to allow more people to buy. Because if nobody's buying the houses, guess what? You can't sell, you can't make any more money. And to be honest, appreciation is where most of the money in real estate is made, right? It's not really buying down or paying down the mortgage of the house as on a rental property. Is really the appreciation that you get over time for holding on to that house while paying down the mortgage that is really exciting to most people. You know, I woke up 3 years later after buying 2 properties, and both have appreciated well over $60,000 each, right? So that gives me an additional $120,000 on top of the principal pay down that I've put onto both of these properties. So now I get to sink my teeth into that appreciation, whether I want to refinance, whether I want to cash it out, whether I want to open up a line of credit, whether I want to just sell the home. And then I also have the equity that I'm building from, you know, paying my mortgage on time, paying my rents on time, and ensuring that, you know, I'm putting extra towards the principal so that I'm paying less interest over the life of the loan as well. And so these things are truly very important to real estate investors to know, like, hey, this is going to continue to appreciate. And so right now we're headed into a market where there's actually going to be some depreciation on the side of the housing market until interest rates start to fall. So once interest rates start to fall, there will be no need to decrease the price of the home. And so people will be able and happy to list their houses on the market at full asking price, knowing that the cost of entry, or the barrier to entry, has just went down due to interest rates going down. And so, you know, a lot of the times I wouldn't tell people to wait, but the truth is that when the majority of people cannot afford something, the market will dictate the value of the house. The house might be worth $1 million, but if nobody can afford it, I promise you it will sell for $700,000. Because nobody wants to hold on to something that they don't necessarily want when they can get some cash and roll that into something that they do want. And the more money you have, the more cheap things truly do become. A $20 million house can easily sell for $14 million in these type of situations, because people are on the move, people are busy, their money, their time is precious, and they're trying to make things happen. And so when you're just getting a starter home or something like that, do not expect too much volatility there. Do not expect for you to be able to wiggle yourself into the best deal possible. No, because once you are in that cheaper category of home, there are more people who can afford that home, especially on a dual income, and therefore you're going to be competing with a lot more buyers in certain markets because of the price of the home itself, and because more people can afford it, right? When you're talking millions and millions of dollars in terms of the housing costs, you're not going to be competing with too many people, if any. And so when you're negotiating with that real estate agent or that owner, it's so much easier because they know that you may be the only person that they get to negotiate with. And so that price on the property is definitely worth negotiating. So with that being said, I do think that if you guys are getting yourselves out of debt, if you are saving money right now, if you are putting $500, $1,000 away every single month, you will be in a great position come December, come January, to where you can probably afford your first starter home in most areas. And don't forget, there are grants available to you for first-time home buyers where you can get at least 5% down payment assistance on your home. And if you're not a first-time home buyer, you can still get up to 2.5% assistance. Now, this may not be in every single state, but it is in mine. And I know in New York, my aunt was able to get, I think, like 20% down payment assistance for working with the city or government for so many years. And so, you know, there are so many options available to you. Just be ready and be willing to start looking into those things in order to maximize, your opportunities when they arise to you. So if you're interested in buying a house, you definitely need to be buckling down, because these next 4 to 5 months are going to be very, very crucial before everybody else wants to start hitting the market in the summer. So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.